think some of the biggest battles that we had, or that I had, were mostly actually with my younger daughter. And that were around sleeping, going to bed and getting enough sleep. And for her, she really wanted to do her best. And at that age, it's hard to know what that is. So, it's like she put so much effort, so much energy into each subject that she would sometimes be up until, beyond midnight, sometimes 2 in the morning. And our biggest battles were me knocking on her door saying, go to sleep, So she was, at that point, she was in high school. And so I would say 14, 15, 16, those years. I think one of the things that I consciously employed at that time when sleep was an issue, and Chelsea in particular was in her early teens, from 14 to say 16, and not sleeping, and it was sort of out of my control. I could say, yes, I want this, but it wasn't happening. And either we were going to get into a power struggle over it, or I needed a new way to work with it. And what I realized for myself, now my older daughter, Rhea, had already left at that point and gone off to college. So it was just Chelsea and I in the house for 2 years on our own. And my room was right next to Chelsea's. And so Chelsea would be up at night doing her homework, listening to loud music, And I was like needing to get up in the morning and go to work, take her to school first, all of that, and not sleeping. And I realized, after getting up numerous times, knocking on her door and having the issue not be able to be resolved easily, I made the decision one day to literally move my room to the front room where my older daughter's room was, and literally just switched places and put in the earplugs and decided to take the long view, It was sort of like, no, she's going to grow up one day and this is no longer going to be an issue. Yes, maybe she won't sleep. Yes, maybe she'll be tired all day. Maybe she'll even get sick from it. But I can't control it. But what I can control is how it's affecting me. And so I literally got up and moved. And that was a huge turning point for me in that dynamic. Huge. I don't know that she felt particularly respected, but I think in a way it let her off the hook. It let that be one less thing that wasn't going well for her. So it kind of let her off the hook. And I think in retrospect, that was a really good strategy. It was out of necessity more than out of anything else. So. Again, there weren't that many of those problems, thankfully, but sleep was one of them. And so that story around the sleep and power struggle around sleep and how much that was affecting me. And again, the strategy was at first try to negotiate that, but when that wasn't coming to any sort of equitable resolve between us, and where I realized that I actually didn't have the power to control that without escalating it, the strategy was to take myself out of the equation altogether. And so that actually was an optimal strategy. I mean, negotiating it and having her go to bed early would have been great, but that wasn't happening. So I had to get with what actually was happening, and that was, and how that was affecting me, and taking the initiative where I actually had the control, opposed to where I really didn't.